Hello and welcome back to Games of the Week, the series where we have 10 minutes or less to talk about the games that we have been playing this week or recently. By we, this time I mean me and my cat Vincent, who has been bugging me because he is a snuggly, terrible little man. This week, I want to talk about Expelled, which, if you are noticing that this is not out on a Tuesday and is in fact out on a Wednesday in the middle of the day, is because Expelled comes out today, March 12th, and it should be out by the time this gets posted, hopefully. It is a game from Inkle Studios, which is the creator of 80 Days, Highland Song, and most notably Overboard, which is a game in which you have killed your husband and you are trying to frame someone else for his death. You go through loops of, I think it's a whole day, but you go through time loops of learning where everyone is and just remembering information and just trying to frame someone else for your husband's murder. Expelled is similar, and it's considered to be, I think they call it the Overboard universe, and except this time, your name is Verity Amersham. You are a scholarship student in 1922 at Miss Mulligatawny School for Promising Girls, which is one of the best boarding schools in England. You start off your day being expelled for allegedly pushing another student out the window. So you have to go through the time loop, learning where everyone is and trying to not get expelled. What is really interesting in this one, and I haven't played Overboard, so I don't know how much this factored into Overboard, but I'm pretty sure it's unique to Expelled, is there is a morality system, but you explicitly have to do bad things in order to get access to more areas and more actions. So if you stay goody goody two shoes, then okay, well, a goody goody two shoes wouldn't skip class or wouldn't go to this forbidden area. So you have to either do bad things or you have to be mean to people. Some of those people deserve it, so it's not too bad. And and then your morality like saves over each time loop. So it's not like you have to restart all the way from the beginning. It is also very nice that you can just like press forward to skip through actions you have already taken. Like if they're if you start out the day, like get out of bed, brush your hair, talk to your roommate, and look out the window. And all of those actions are fine for what you need to do. You can just, there's a skip button that will just take all of those actions until it gets to a new action. You have to hold it down, so it's not like it just like completely skips if there is something you want to change. So you are at a school and you will be navigating around the school. You'll be able to see when people are in different rooms. So like if someone is in the chapel, there will be a little thing there, and it also affects the time. So in your conversations, you will make dialogue choices that advances the time forward. Traveling to other parts of the school will say, okay, I want to go across the school. I will be there in like 10 minutes. So it's 9 now. I'll be there by 9:10 or whatever. And so it really kind of puts some time pressure on it. And then, lets you know where people are going to be. It's like, okay, well, these people are always in this class at this time, except your actions will change how that happens. So you can, make it harder for people to go do those other things for one reason or another. It's just really neat how many variables there are in this. Like there are so many different things you can do. I definitely didn't beta test as much of some other people did. So I was just reading like all their little like, okay, I did this, and this, and then this happened. And I'm like, oh my God, how did you get there for real? I thought that I did a crazy thing and got to a thing that was wild. So it's extremely cool. It is, I mean, like you have to replay it. I mean, I guess you could just stop at the first loop if you really want. But in order to like not be expelled, you have to replay it. You end up getting different goals as you go through. So in the first loop, you don't have any goals. In the second loop, okay, I understand what this is about then. I'm trying not to get expelled. Here are my 3 goals. But you might say, okay, well, in order to do the one goal, I'm finding another thing I need to do. And you're just uncovering a lot about the story, the lore, what other characters are about. There's really a whole lot to explore in this. There's a whole lot to figure out. And it's I don't know. As someone who is a nerd for, choice-based games and if-thens and everything, it's a really cool game. And I might be hyping it up a lot, especially like the choice-based stuff, because Inkle Studios also makes they released their scripting language Ink for anyone to use. You don't have to like pay anything to use it. And a lot of the times, like Inkle Studios will connect it with Unity to make the games there. So like Expelled is kind of like a visual novel style, I guess, is maybe what I'd call it. But I use it just for text games. So if you've heard me talk about Pop Tart Quest or Lake Pontchartrain or Kitus, those I'm all making in Ink without connecting it to Unity or Godot or anything like that. I mean, there's JavaScript in there, but that's also just like part of Ink. So, I have a bias to their particular system because it's really good. And if you want to make interactive fiction games, go out and try Ink. It's great. But anyway, back to Expelled. As far as the mobile, it is also coming out the same day. I will say it is not coming out on Android. It is only coming out on iOS. But it's really good on iOS. It's like it works fine. I have a fairly older phone and it works fine on there. Yeah, I mean it's pretty, since it is kind of a visual novel, it's pretty simple. It's not like you're doing like super complex mechanics. The complexity is in the choices and in the actions that happen and all the background stuff. So it's, like there's the fast forward, there's just the choosing dialogue, there's everything like that. And it's really smooth. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty good. The game also has some good accessibility options. Like you can even turn off profanity, and screen flashes, and then there's vibration on the mobile, and I think it's also, there might be vibration on the Steam Deck. I'm not sure about that. I have tested on the Steam Deck, but it's been a hot second, and I don't remember any vibrations, but it could be. But yeah, it's Steam Deck verified as well, so it's coming out on PC, iOS, and Switch, but obviously we're here for the mobile game port of it. But yeah, so you can turn off profanity, you can turn off vibrations, you can turn off screen flashes. It also has content warnings that you can press on and see what it's about. So that's something to look at. Some of these, I'm looking at it now. So none of the content warnings are like really, like it says this game contains mild references to, and I would agree with that. Like I don't think, unless you are very, very sensitive to some of these stuff, I wouldn't worry about it all too much. Because it makes references to suicide, abortion, evangelism, blasphemy, medicinal, just like a lot of stuff, witchcraft, being buried alive. Like, these aren't, like, it's not a scary game. These aren't things that are portrayed on screen. It's not like a gory game or anything. It's just like, if you are dealing with a girls' boarding school in 1922, especially because it's a religious boarding school, then there's just going to be those sort of things. And like I said, it says this game contains mild references to, and I would definitely agree with that. I have seen a few of these things come up in my playthroughs. Again, if you are very sensitive to it, the content warnings are there for you to double check, but it's pretty good. Anyway, I am running out of time. Go buy Expelled. It is on iOS and Steam and Switch. I am not sure what the prices are as of now. I didn't see it when I looked anywhere, but Overboard is currently $15 on Steam and $7 on the App Store. So I would expect prices around there. But yeah, go check it out. And also, if you are listening to this day of, I am going to be streaming it on twitch.tv/Amberlin at 6 p.m. Central Time, which you might not hear it in time for that, but it is going to be a VOD on YouTube, Jaxiax. So go buy Expelled. If you like Expelled, go buy Overboard, and really just go check out other Inkle games, and then just other games made in Ink, and then go make an interactive fiction game in Ink yourself, and do all the things. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.